There's a ton of content out there, and if you don't know where to start, it can be overwhelming, even paralyzing. So let's fix that. Welcome to Simply Cyber, a community of tens of thousands of aspiring and active cybersecurity professionals focused on networking, knowledge sharing, and professional development. I'm Dr. Gerald, Auger, Chief Content Creator at Simply Cyber, inviting you to get the answers to your cybersecurity problems with hundreds of cybersecurity videos answering your frequently asked questions, interviewing industry experts, and live streaming daily cyber threat briefings hosted by me. Now get the stories and insights you won't find anywhere else. Hit subscribe now and dig into all the fresh content on the channel and in the community. Nothing should stop you from launching and leveling up your cybersecurity career today. All right, everybody, welcome to Friday, November 10th, 2023. Happy Marine Corps birthday, Marines. This is episode number 492 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Briefing podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and over the next 45 minutes, me, you, not only IT, Ms. Julian Space Tacos, Chris Young, Steve Mount, Kenneth Ruff, Samuel Kalu, Marcus Kyler, dropping the Yeats Language Express. Yeah. There we go. Let's blast this music a little bit. Need a little background music. You know what I'm saying? I love it. Love it. Nathan Bolin, Scotty, NG Yarbrough, Nerman, squad members, folks on LinkedIn, folks on YouTube, long timers and welcome to the party. First timers. We're all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, and I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of those stories on what it means to you as a practitioner. So what can you do to make this drive cyber risk reduction at your organization or for your business stakeholders this week, next month, next quarter? Looking at you, calendar year 2024. Either way, it's going to be valuable. And if you're looking to break into the industry, you will be asked in any single cyber job interview. You'll be asked in any single Simply Cyber job interview one day. You'll be asked in any cyber job interview, how do you stay current in industry? This is a phenomenal answer, not just because it's, our show, but because we're really covering the top news stories of the day and giving context to that. Plus, if you're looking to break in, you'll hear terminology, concepts, you'll be up to speed. And that is incredibly valuable for hiring managers. Plus, might I add, how amazing chat is over here. Not only IT, Philip Martin, folks over on LinkedIn, Professor Black Ops. Guys, networking is awesome. This chat is awesome. Simply Cyber community is awesome. So give ourselves a little moment to reflect on that. But by the way, if you didn't catch last night's episode with Jessica Hyde, I highly encourage you go check it if you're into digital forensics incident response. She dropped massive resources, and she said the nicest things about y'all after the stream ended. So just want to let you know, you guys came correct. Hey, Raniel Isaac. All right, guys, before we get into the stream, though, I do want to say shout out and thanks to the stream sponsors, starting with my good friend Eric Taylor and the whole crew over at Barricade Cyber Solutions. Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping business and cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send those dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. Believe that. Check them out at barricadecyber.com. Links in the description below. We got a super chat coming in hot from Copenhagen. James McQuiggan, happy birthday from Copenhagen, Denmark, to my daughter Sarah and the Marines.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
Happy birthday, Sarah. Happy birthday, Marines. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Also want to say shout out and love to Panoptcy Security. Panoptcy, where I am advisory board member also, in full disclosure. They're kicking it left of boom, y'all. So get a partner who understands your cybersecurity program, your business goals. If you need to set up your identify and protect of your NIST cybersecurity framework and have it chef's kiss, Panoptcy Security can help you. Think of them as like a fractional VC so that can come in, get a lay of the land very quickly, talk to you about what your budget is, what your business's actual real risk appetite is, then look at your controls in, maturity level essentially, and then give you a tailored plan on how to drive high risk reduction with low hanging fruit controls and do it in a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year roadmap plan. It's incredibly valuable. Think of it. You know what Panoptcy security is? It's like buying architectural blueprints before building a house. Yeah, you can just go down to Lowe's and buy a bunch of 2x4s and nails and come home and see what happens. But you know what works better? Having a plan, executing to it, seeing what's up. Panoptcy security. Check them out, panoptcy.com. Links in the description below. Also, shout out to Antisyphon training, but more about them in the mid-roll, y'all. So just so you know, every episode, just like episode 492 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Briefing, is worth half a CPE. Half a CPE. So say what's up like Angie Yarbrough did with the coffee cup cheers. Grab a screenshot. Make sure that you include the time and date. All right? And then file it away. I get asked this like more often than you would expect. How do I capture these CPEs? What do I do with CPEs? Listen, if you hold a cybersecurity certification, that's why you need CPEs. If you don't hold one, don't sweat it, okay? If you need it, check with your certification body for what the policies are around CPEs. But this daily threat briefing is essentially a webinar. It's totally on brand. I'm totally qualified to talk about what I'm talking about. So to me, this qualifies all day long as a half a CPE. Plus, dude, we do 2.5 a week, 10 a month. You'll crush your CPEs in no time. My man, Chris Young, coming in hot from the top rope.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
All right. Christopher Young, thanks for the super chat. Loving the daily cyber threat brief and sound effects are fun. Hey, community, just a reminder, he's not a first timer anymore. He's a second dayer. Congratulations, Chris Young. We got to get you in the regular rotation, my friend. All right. If you are live with us right now, like Chris Young, Eagle Drone Service, and Bernice Gorin, let me get a hashtag team live. Valentino could be hashtag team need more coffee. I feel that, my friend. But hashtag team live if you're live in chat right now. Let us know you're here. It is Friday. We're going strong. Last day of Simply CyberCon week. We blew it out. No jaw-jacking today, but more about that a little bit later in the show on why. It's a very, very good reason. If you're on replay, hashtag team replay. I love my replay people so much. Thank you, all of you. And shout out to Chris Weaver, who does minute marks for the stories to make it very easy for everybody. I pin that to the podcast every single day. And finally, if it is your first episode and you're straight, got your hair blown back because you're like, what the hell? Sorry, Kennedy, what the heck is going on? Let us know. Hashtag first timer. We've got a sound effect. We've got an emote. We've got you covered. You're going to be welcomed with open arms, my first timers. So let us know if you are a first timer in chat. Now, it's time to get to work. All this grab butts is a lot of fun, and socializing's a boatload of fun too. But guys, sometimes, we got to do the work. All right. So do me a favor, sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. I will see you all at the mid-roll.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Friday, November 10th, 2023. I'm Steve Prentice. The U.S. is the most breached country of the last quarter. The United States has the dubious honor of being the most breached country in Q3 2023, despite a decrease in breach count. This is according to a new global study from VPN maker Surfshark, which showed the U.S. had 8.1 million leaked accounts, or 1 leaked account per second in this period. This, however, is still 84% less compared to the previous quarter. The report also shows that globally, a total of 31.5 million accounts were breached in this same period, translating into 4 accounts being leaked every second. After the U.S., Russia was next, followed by France, China, and Mexico. A link to the Surfshark report is available in the show notes to this episode.
All right. So this is interesting. They're talking about most, breach countries by account number. So You got to remember, it gets all skewed out of sorts here. Welcome to the squad, Jeremy. This gets all skewed out of such here. Like chess.com, I just found this out a few minutes ago. Chess.com got breached just recently to 800,000 accounts. So, when there's one breach, it goes bananas. You know what I mean? And there's just been, the 23andMe, that was 1 million accounts right there. So when we say the accounts, like it could be like 50 businesses were hacked and it turns into like 22 million accounts, right? So don't get too wrapped around the axle on the sheer volume of all these. Now, what is interesting here, this is only in Q3, so just the last quarter. The United States leads the pack. I'm not surprised. The United States gets hammered, and not like in a Thursday night college style. They get peppered by threat actors all the time. The U.S. is, a first world country. A lot of people see Americans as like, fat and happy and, easy targets and such. So that doesn't surprise me. What is interesting to me, and I don't know if this jumped out at anyone else, Russia is second. To me, notoriously, Russia has been a safe haven for cyber criminals to operate their criminal enterprises from, because they get top cover, bulletproof hosting from the Russian government. Essentially, if you don't attack Russian businesses, if you don't attack Russian citizens, then don't sweat it. You can keep on rocking. So this is stunning, honestly. So I don't know if this is like, Western philosophy countries, your NATO's, your Five Eyes attacking Russia. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because typically nation state threat actors, and I'm including the US in there, okay, just like from other countries' perspectives, they typically aren't attacking businesses that would have massive amounts of accounts. They're not attacking individuals, right? Nation state threat actors are into espionage, nation on nation action, that hot nation on nation action. Hold on. I really need to get a sound effect for this too, but hold on one second. I'm being a little silly. It is Friday. So some hot nation on nation action. Nation on nation action, so hot right now. So anyways, that jumps out as a stunning, interesting. Now, the second thing that jumps out to me as interesting is look at this unbelievable material drop-off between second and third, and really all the other ones. I mean, this is a massive dump, right? This is like Microsoft Azure, AWS, and then like every other cloud infrastructure. This is huge. So it just goes to show you that in the pantheon of cyber threat actors attacking individual and, based by country and organizations, Russia and the US are top dogs, right? This has like Cold War vibes all over it. Just again, I didn't say it in the intro. I don't know if there's any first timers here or not, but I don't prep or research any of these stories. I see them for the first time with you, so you're getting my honest reaction. I do find it, I'm not surprised Russia, China, and the US happen to be near the top simply because they're big players in the kind of the cyber warfare game. But Colombia, Brazil, Mexico, those South American countries, I'm kind of surprised Argentina isn't in here. They're kind of hot with offensive security, young offensive security professionals who kind of go YOLO and hit stuff. This is from Surfshark, Jack's Surfshark VPN. So I'll drop a link in chat. What you should do with this, I mean, look at this material drop, 8 million, 7 million, 1 million. I mean, that's unbelievable. What you should do with this information, just file it away. If you want to point out, this is more interesting than anything. I don't think you'd really whip this out in a board meeting or something, but like, obviously the United States is hit. Like, you don't need to explain to the business that we work in the United States, we're going to get hit. Like, but this would indicate all of that. So put MFA on your customer accounts, require it for starters. Okay. That's the TLDR. You can go ask 23andMe what they think about that.
OpenAI blames DDoS attacks for ongoing ChatGPT outages. OpenAI confirmed yesterday, Thursday, that the periodic outages affecting its API and ChatGPT services were DDoS related. Users saw error messages in their ChatGPT windows, as well as on Monday on generative art engine DALL-E. Anonymous Sudan is claiming responsibility for the outage, stating on its Telegram channel that it used the Skynet botnet to carry out the attack. Bleeping Computer is quick to point out this claim may be a false flag, with many cybersecurity researchers looking at Russia instead.
All right.
Shall we play a game?
All right. So, 100 million people are using OpenAI. And that's not hyperbolic. They have like 100 million accounts at least signed up. Think about the load that 100 million real users are putting on this system, okay? So for them to get hit by a DDoS attack is actually impressive, because just the user base would be would be like a DDoS attack anyways. Now, Anonymous Sudan, they are a threat actor that's kind of cropped up in the last, 3 months. They claim to be hacktivists, but a lot of their behaviors would indicate that they're Russia leaning, Russia-Ukrainian lean, on the Russia side leaning. They kind of partnered up with Killnet, which is a Russian DDoS service. They partnered up with, I think they had said they were going to partner up with like the new incarnation of Revil. I might be wrong. Revil was Ukrainian. But anyways, Anonymous Sudan kind of just seems like a yard sale a bit, right? They're kind of like all over the place. They don't have like a clear, definitive vision or mission statement. Their techniques are, kind of all over the place. They do denial of service attacks, which is their bag. I could see them claiming it. If Russia's behind it and the TTPs, the indicators are compromised, the techniques that are being used have attributions tied to Russian backed threat actors. It wouldn't surprise me if Anonymous Sudan was basically in like some type of weird justice league with Russia, where they're like, oh, we'll stand in front of it. It could even be as complicated. I've been watching a lot of Jack Ryan on Amazon, so maybe my brain is skewed. But like, I could even see like Anonymous Sudan being stood up and basically funded by a regime in order to be the face of certain attacks and be kind of a false flag over here. Like, oh, Anonymous Sudan. But they're basically just like a puppet organization being funded and facilitated through a nation state threat actor like Russia. Can't guarantee that, but, signs indicate that way. Again, this is speculative hot takes. Anytime I go off the reservation, I will use the tinfoil hat, Jerry, to indicate that I am shooting from the hip. I'm riding low on the hip on a train bound for glory. David Atkinson coming in with the Marine Corps birthday.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Very nice. Thanks, David Atkinson. Appreciate that. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Marines, Devil Dogs. All right.
Clop exploits sysaid vulnerability. A zero-day vulnerability within the service management software sysaid, that's SYSAID, is being exploited by threat actors to access corporate servers in order to steal data and to deploy Clop ransomware. On November 2nd, the threat intelligence team at Microsoft discovered the issue, now tagged as CVE 2023-47246, being exploited in the wild, and they alerted sysaid, who has now released a patch, which is available as a software update. All sysaid users are strongly recommended to switch to version 23.3.36 or later. Microsoft has named the threat actor involved as Lace Tempest.
Okay.
Japan
All right. So couple things here. One, if you're running sysaid, again, this is like a IT remote management services. Like if you have an MSP or you run an MSP, you may be using sysaid. The TLDR here is if you're running sysaid IT management in your environment, you absolutely need to fix this. Where's my button?
You gotta patch it.
You gotta patch it. Listen, you gotta patch this thing or take it offline until you get it sorted out, okay? Because this isn't good. Now, they're saying that it's dropping Clop ransomware. I want to be very clear here. When I saw this story, I was like, geez, Clop ransomware, you guys, like Clop, it's been reported, okay, that Clop ransomware is like a victim of their own success. They were so successful with the MoveIt breach and pulling all the data that they were like overwhelmed with stolen data and trying to dig it out and figure out, like deleting Department of Energy data that they accidentally downloaded because they definitely didn't want to bring that heat down on them, and then figuring out who the high value targets were. It was companies like Sony, like it was coming out like months after the Move It breach, like another victim comes up, and Klopp was getting paid hand over fist, right?
Straight cash, homie.
Yeah, straight cash, Randy. So they were getting paid out. So when I see this, I'm like, holy crap, dude! Like Klopp, you're still kind of digging out a Move It. Like you guys are not greedy, but Jesus, you must have did a merger or acquisition with some other threat actor group to uplift your head count in human resources, right? Your onboarding process must be dope. But they say that it's a threat actor named Lace Tempest using Klopp ransomware. So what I suspect then is Klopp has forked themselves into some type of like ransomware as a service or affiliate model where they're helping other threat actor groups. And in these threat actor affiliate models, Klopp ransomware, the developers of Klopp ransomware is basically going to take a percentage of whatever Lace Tempest gets. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that all users of Klopp ransomware are doing zero-day exploitation, but they are known, threat actors that deploy Klopp ransomware are known for that particular attack vector. So when it comes to exploitation, you can do technical exploitation, which is what they're doing. You can do people exploitation, which is not like sex trafficking or anything like that. It's like social engineering, getting people to click on dumb stuff, throwing USB drives in the parking lot. Like that's people exploitation. Or process exploitation, which is like calling help desk and getting passwords reset and stuff like that. Now, that is, you could say that's social engineering, but like you're attacking the process of getting passwords reset. You can only attack technical, people, or process. Those are the only three. There's no fourth. There's no endless bucket of options. It's those three when you roll it all up. So that's a free, the more you know for everybody. Where's my more you know? Dunk, 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 dunk. All right. So if the TLDR here is if you're running CISA IT management and you don't fix it, you will get hit by this. It is trivial for threat actors to run across Shodan.io, wonderful tool used by both good guys and bad guys alike. It's trivial for them to run across Shodan, find the vulnerable systems, launch their attacks, drop their payloads, start the ransomware negotiations, and get paid.
Straight cash, homie.
So don't be a victim, okay? You have the ability to get in front of this. Please don't be a victim. And if you are a victim, may I introduce you to barricadecyber.com. They can help you. But please don't become a victim. Get in front of this.
Electronics targeted in ransomware attack. The ALF-V Black Cat ransomware group has claimed responsibility for an attack on the Tokyo-based manufacturer of electrical connectors, aerospace electronics, and user interface-related devices. This also happened on November 2nd and chiefly impacted the company's email systems. The company states that, quote, no information leakage has been confirmed to date, end quote. However, the ALF-V Black Cat ransomware gang claims to have stolen, quote, roughly 150,000 documents from the company, including blueprints, contracts, confidential messages, and reports, end quote, with screenshots already appearing on its Tor website.
All right, so check it out. This is a manufacturing is the #1 targeted industry by ransomware, like year over year. So if you're working as, if you're interested in, hey, Chris Young, go to CISOseries.com. Here it is, Chris Young, CISOseries.com, daily cyber headlines. And you'll see for today, this is where they are. Okay, I partner with them. All right, so check it out. This is just another manufacturing company, ALF-V Black Cat, formerly DarkSide. Ooh, ransomware threat actor group until they popped Colonial Pipeline and got their got their pecker knocked into the dirt. They rebranded as ALF-V Black Cat. These guys are tier 1 threat actors. Okay, ALF-V Black Cat. You do not want to be victimized by them. ALF-V Black Cat, Lockbit, and I would throw Klopp ransomware in there now. Although I will say, just as a fun fact, Klopp ransomware did have a bit of a misfire early on in their career where they attacked. Do you guys remember this? They attacked Royal Mail in England, but they attacked like some small plumbing company or something that was also named Royal something, and they thought that they got like the country's mail service, and instead they hit like some like some small business. Anyways, Klopp's no joke now with Move It and this other CISA thing we just talked about. But long story short, Alfie Black Cat doesn't care. They hit a printing publisher company in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. They hit one of the largest, oldest Japanese aviation electronics manufacturer in Japan, right in Tokyo. They don't give a damn. You know what they care about?
Straight cash, homie.
That's right, Randy. They care about straight cash, homie. We don't get to use this enough. Cash rules everything around me. Maybe we need that as a sounder too. Cash rules everything around me, and Alfie Black Cat is straight up printing money. Now, what's interesting about this particular instance is, according to the story, two things are happening here that's awesome for the good one. First of all, this did not impact manufacturing operations. So this Japanese company, I know in Japan, like honor and integrity and those type of things is very important. But guess what they're still doing? Producing goods. You know what else they're doing? Making money. So this did not impact financial revenue generation. So that's got to feel good for everybody at what's this company called? Japan Aviation Electronics. Oh, they must have gone to the same school that I went to for naming this podcast. Like, you want to know what they do and where they're from? It's in the title. So they, it said they had some downtime with email. Nah, their IT, here's the deal. Their IT infrastructure was partially compromised. Somebody probably got in, a threat actor, and into like user land or some tertiary area and did not get deep into like the sensitive IT infrastructure systems. So they're fine. I don't want to say they're fine. I mean, they're dealing with the ransomware attack, but it sounds like if you're a GRC wonk, the impact value is low, and that's okay. That's acceptable risk. So off they're running. Good on them. To me, this is just an indicator that businesses, especially manufacturing businesses, are getting more serious about putting in protection mechanisms to slow down ransomware, reduce the impact of ransomware. And I don't know it from the story, but I would suspect tabletop exercises to practice recovering from ransomware. So this Japanese aviation electronics, chef's kiss. They did steal blueprints, as BSEC is pointing out in chat. They did steal blueprints. They did steal IP. So that is not good, depending on what this Japanese company had. Sometimes having access to the information doesn't necessarily mean that you can produce it, right? Like you need the technology and the concepts and all that stuff to get in there. It looks like we got a first timer, Keith Ferguson. Thanks, Space Tacos, for calling it out. Hey, Keith.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal. All right, let's roll through the mid-roll.
And now a word from our sponsor. OffSec, formerly Offensive Security, the cyber training company behind the well-known OSCP certification and Kali Linux distro, is hosting a virtual summit for CISOs and cybersecurity leaders called Evolve on November 15th. During the event, you will learn how to attract and assess top talent, how to craft positioning for budget conversations, and why CISOs make great board members, and more. Hear from forward-thinking InfoSec leaders from companies like Cisco, Amazon, and Salesforce. Save your seat and equip yourself with actionable takeaways to help shape the future of your organization's security. You can register now at offsec.com/evolve. That's OFFSEC.com/evolve.
All right, it's the mid-roll. Let's party. All right, y'all. Hopefully you can hear me. I've been messing around. Don't tell BSEC. Base case. I've been messing around with the mixing board. Let me know if the audios are good. Guys, I want to say shout out and thanks to all of you. What a hell of a week this week. Simply CyberCon has been epic. James McQuiggan, Eric Taylor, Kimberly McKnight, BSEC, Jenny Housley, Aaron, Joel, Stefan, Justin Gold, all the speakers. Just an amazing week. Jack Scott's coming in. Hold on one second. I'm dealing with a little something here. Hot minute. 4, 3, 2, 1. Just give me a second. I'm doing a multi-factor thing really quickly. All right, y'all. Hey, let me say shout out and thanks to the stream sponsors, Barricade Cyber, Panoptcy, and Antisyphon Training. You guys know John Strand. Let's throw some John Strand emotes into chat. Hey, John, good to see you. Thanks for doing all you do, including starting and launching Antisyphon Training. which is here to disrupt the traditional training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of their financial position. They offer students the opportunity to learn skills from industry professionals at a ridiculously affordable price, including $0. That's right, you heard me, $0. Why? Because they're awesome and they don't, like, cybersecurity is too important. All right, so check it out. There's a link in the description below. Go to Antisyphon Training, click on training, go to Pay What You Can Training, and giddy up on all this Pay What You Can training. It's so good. Pay What You Can training is so hot right now. All right, guys. Also want to say, oh, wait, hold on. If you're getting value from the stream, hit the like button. It goes a long way. All you Thursday night college kids who went ham last night, when you catch the replay, hit the like button. But it helps others find the show. Please pay it forward to the rest of the Simply Cyber community. All right, here we go. I'll bring the music down a little bit. All right. Yeah, Raniel, it was a slam dunk. Totally agree with you guys. Simply Cyber Community Challenge. Edward Moore has the baton. Edward Moore is in chat. Edward Moore, thank you so much for carrying the baton for November 9th. And whoever wants it for November 10th, I'm thinking Chris Young, Marine Corps birthday, might be a good fit. It is his second day. Let's find out what his story is. But it's up to Edward Moore. Edward Moore, please tag somebody with the Simply Cyber Community Challenge baton. For everybody else, listen up. If you want to supercharge your network very easily and basically hack LinkedIn so your feed is awesome and your network is awesome, go on Simply Cyber. Go on LinkedIn, search for this hashtag Simply Cyber Community Challenge, and connect with the people who are posting, connect with the people in the comments, comment on the post. You will be commented on the post, so the next person will connect with you. In 5 minutes a day, in 2 weeks, you will have a ridiculous network. And by the way, just keep doing it. There's over almost 200 people have done the baton challenge. Thousands have done the comments. Believe me, we built this so you can do this, but we can't make the connections for you. We can't force you to comment. But if you want to take the initiative and build your network in a meaningful way, do this. That's why we do this. This is a community service. This is an initiative for us to build meaningful networks. Get on it. Yes, a veteran would be cool. It is Veterans Day. Christopher Young, Edward Moore is calling you. You take the baton, Christopher Young. Holler at us. All right, guys. Every single day of the week has a special option, and Fridays is Friday's Joke of the Week, okay? Presented by Grayson. And in Grayson's absence, it's Grayson's Joke of the Week presented by James McQuiggan. Now, James McQuiggan's Joke of the Week this week. Oh, my God. Where is James? James. Here it is. All right. I just want you guys to know that James is in Copenhagen today, so he had to get to bed early last night. Oh, my God. Hold on. He sent me so many text messages. Oh, yeah. Okay. He had to go to bed early. He was super tired. He went to bed early, and he had a dream that he was a muffler, which is so weird. I know it's super weird. And what sucks is he woke up exhausted. Dreamt he was a muffler, woke up exhausted. Also, in Copenhagen, James, be careful, because if you dream that you're a snow globe, I guarantee you're going to wake up feeling really shaken up. And you don't want that, James McQuiggan. All right. Thank you so much to James McQuiggan for the Joke of the Week. Always enjoy that. Also, bonus material, because why not? It is Friday. We're having a good time. This is a visual Joke of the Week by BSEC. There we go. Life of an IT person. Hacking away at the office, streaming to the beach, at the beach, streaming to the office. If this resonates with you, if you feel seen, let me know in comments. Love it. Let's get back to the news, y'all.
Python developers warned against becoming targets. A cautionary tale from cybersecurity firm Checkmarx, that's CHECKMARX, as reported in The Record. Quote, sometimes when...
All right, really quickly, Chris Young, let me know. I see people explaining to you what it is. BSEC looks like he's handling it. Thank you, BSEC.
Malicious hackers meddle with open source software development. The target isn't the software, it's the developers themselves, end quote. The researchers have been tracking malware intended to infect the computers of developers who work in Python and who are looking for tools that will help disguise their code in development. The article looks specifically at a package called Blaze Stealer, which enables a bot on the Discord messaging service, quote, that gives attackers complete control over the victim's computer, end quote. All
right. Open source software is a huge area of concern. Normally, threat actors contribute like backdoors, keyloggers, all that type of crap into code. Sometimes it gets pushed through. Also, I think Christopher Young has accepted the baton. So good on you, Christopher. We look forward to your post. In this story, they're saying that sometimes the developers are being targeted, which would make sense, right? Because here's the deal. If I'm a threat actor and I'm pushing code into an open source project, it has to get committed by me, the threat actor. If I have no other commits, if I'm a donkey, people might be like, this looks sus. No. But if I compromise like Nick Ascoli, CEO over at Fortrace and also massive contributor to the CTI open source Python project. If I get Nick Ascoli to run a destructive payload, I can get access to his box, his account, and then I can commit malicious code as Nick, and then it'll get pushed through because of all the trust that Nick has established in the community. So I'm riding on a train. I'm riding low on the hip on a train bound for glory right now. I don't know if that's exactly what this story is saying, but that's how I think of if I was going to attack a developer, why would I do it? What is the impact? What is the end goal? What is the action on objective? Dude, in 2023, threat actors don't just, fire malware out their trunk and go home and turn on CNN and see where it landed. They do it with intent. They do it with purpose. So obviously there's some purpose to attacking the developers. That's what I would think. Just based on name alone, they're calling the malware Blaze Stealer. Blaze Stealer. I don't know if there's any authority or comparison to this, but that sounds very Flaming Donkey TTP. Flaming Donkey, if you guys don't know, is a fictitious APT that we have created here at Simply Cyber with the slow burn idea of getting it into MITRE ATT&CK. So don't sleep on Flaming Donkey. Blaze Stealer might be their TTP. So TLDR, if you are a developer, if you do open source, if you work in Python, which many of us do, just be mindful. Don't do dumb stuff, okay? You don't want to run weird code from weird places that you don't know because you could be the target, okay? The phone call is coming from inside the house.
Outage causes Aussie outrage. A widespread 12-hour outage of internet and phone service at Australia telecom Optus on Wednesday has been blamed on a, quote, network event that triggered a cascading failure, end quote. In addition to large-scale operations like payment systems, transport systems, and hospitals being affected, many small business owners voiced their displeasure over the, quote, robustness of Australia's telecommunications network, and in particular about Optus, which is owned by Singapore Telecommunications, end quote. CEO Kelly Bayer-Rosmarin said in a statement, quote, customers will be given free data to acknowledge their patience and loyalty, end quote. Australia's media regulator will conduct a separate review into the outage since the emergency 000 calls, the Australian version of 911, went down on Optus landlines. Sumo Logic announces breach.
All right, really quickly, there was a cascading network failure affecting 10 million Australians last week. This likely, I didn't read the whole story, and this is brand new to me. I didn't read it. When stuff like this happens, I suspect it is not a malicious attack. Guys, nation-state threat actors can disrupt infrastructure, but usually when there's like a massive outage like this, it's because and I say this with all the love in my heart, it's because like some junior engineer made a commit in production without going through change management, dev test, BGP records get updated, a network configuration gets pushed, a patch that wasn't tested gets pushed. Something happens. Somebody drags a boat anchor over an underwater fiber line. Crap happens, dude. IT is not infallible, and it really is No, no, Fury. so, so I think that's what happened here. Now, from a completely self-serving perspective, I just want to point out that every single Wednesday, and Christopher Young wouldn't know this because he's day 2, but every single Wednesday we do Worldwide Wednesday. We go around the world and we ask people where they are, and almost every week we have somebody in every continent. This past Wednesday we had every continent except Australia, and I was pretty hot at the Australians. I was probably a little unfair to the Aussies, blaming them. Okay. Well, apparently there was a network outage. Okay, so we're gonna give a pass to Australia. They were basically blacked out, and I mean that in the most polite way possible. They were blacked out. So we'll see what happens. If there's any Aussies in here, I'd love to hear what they're saying. The story did say that the Aussies were in fury. So here we go. This is our Aussies finding out that they can't get on the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. Compensation has been requested. We will see. But oi, good to have you back on online, our Australian friends. Just as a personal story, if I had 12 hours of internet outage, I don't know what I would do. I would probably you'd see me and this is a super deep cut, but I'd be like the guy in the shower in the crying game, just like, oh, like I gotta be hardwired into the internet 24/7. That was a really deep cut. I don't recommend anybody Google what I just said. But if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's keep going. Moving on.
The cloud security company disclosed the breach after confirming that its AWS account had been compromised. The company stated that its systems and networks were not impacted and that customer data was encrypted. They do recommend, however, that customers, quote, rotate credentials that are either used to access Sumo logic or that they have provided to the company to access other systems, end quote. Shimano.
All right. I was reconciling my crying game reference there for a minute and did not listen to this story at all. So grant me some grace here. And I agree with you. I do have books. I do read pretty often. So I think I would survive. I was being a bit hyperbolic for the sake of entertainment purposes. Sumo Logic discloses security breach, recommends customers rotate creds. Okay. Sumo Logic is a big deal. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Sumo Logic's a SIEM, right? They're a SIM, right? Like a cloud-based SIM you push your stuff up to. Let's see what their security notice said. There we go. This looks wicked official. They created a playbook to guide our customers through the process of updating their API keys. Okay, so here's the deal. I don't always know how I'm going to respond or talk about this particular thing, but two things I want to tell you. One, if you use Sumo Logic in AWS, you should absolutely, if the vendor is recommending you rotate your keys, you should rotate your keys. Now, rotating your API keys is going to suck, okay? It's not easy. You're probably going to have some things that break, and that's the deal. But to not do it is A, negligent, and B, just a terrible practice. It's going to haunt you later on. And frankly, think about it this way. If you don't have time to rotate the credentials now, are you going to have time to do incident response later? Because spoiler alert, it's going to take a load more time to do incident response when threat actors get your keys and start doing bad stuff with your infrastructure, okay? Now, the nice thing is, and I love this, I wish more vendors did this, Sumo Logic has not just thrown their customers to the wind and said, good luck. They actually released a playbook with a step-by-step guide on how to rotate your keys. This is brilliant. Like, dude, as a vendor, you get popped. Yes, you have to do incident response. You have to fix your own infrastructure to make sure it doesn't happen again. But you need to think of your customers. You need to serve your consumer base. They're the ones paying, and ultimately, they're the ones who are negatively impacted by this security incident. So don't sleep on that. Some businesses, it sucks. Some businesses will just send an email out that says, we wanted to make you aware we suffered this incident. Your security and privacy is paramount to us. Good luck, right? And it's like, what do I have to do? Or do I have to do anything? I don't what's the impact to me? I don't understand. Help me. So not all vendors do this. And I love it. I love it that they're doing it, telling you how to rotate it, and even offering support. So say you're a one-person shop, you just stood it up, or this could happen too. You paid some professional services company to come in and set it up, and it's off and running, and now they're gone. And it's just like a magic black box that you don't understand how it works, but logs happen and things come in, maybe an MSSP or whatever. If you need help, they will offer support to help you disable the keys and update them if you need it. They also talk about, rotating webhook connections, monitoring keys being accessed. So say a key is compromised and you haven't rotated them yet, you can see where it's being accessed to give you indications of compromise. That is a detection mechanism. Way to go, Sumo Logic. I don't use Sumo Logic personally, and that's okay. But what I will say is, Sumo Logic just went up in my mind. As a company, you're going to get hit, okay? You can't avoid it. How you handle it when you get hit tells a lot about your character, your integrity, and your overall values as a company. And this right here, I know it's crisis management. I know it's PR, but I am a fan. Way to go, Sumo Logic. You're aces in my book.
A ransomware attack. And now a story from a news source we seldom cover on cybersecurity headlines, The Cycling News, who describes a ransomware attack on the cycling component manufacturer Shimano. Quoting a post on Twitter/X from technology security company Falcon Feeds, it was a lockbit attack, also on November 2nd, resulting in, quote, 4.5 terabytes of sensitive data breached, including employee passport data, financial documents and confidential diagrams, non-disclosure agreements, and more. No ransom has been mentioned, but the Cycling News points out that this is another bad blow for the company that last month issued a recall on one of its cranksets, is the subject of a class action lawsuit in the US, and is seeing substantial downturn in sales.
All right. So Gary Sturgiadis probably got triggered when they just said cranksets. He's like, oh yeah, let's get that crank coffee going. All right. So, hey, really quickly, just to step back a second. I do like helping everybody. I see Rex Cognition's going in here. So Christopher Young said, is rotating credentials changing your password? Rotating credentials can mean changing your password. However, in this particular instance with Sumo Logic, it's the API keys. And basically, if you think about it, you use API keys to set up automation to have systems talk to systems, code talk to code. Pushing logs from an application up into Sumo Logic and having it integrate, having Sumo Logic detect something and send like a Slack channel or Discord, with a webhook, an email, whatever it is. Automation relies on API keys to work and allow basically software to talk to software. So in this case, that's what they're talking about, because threat actors can use the API keys to access the software too now. All right. So just to clarify that for Chris. All right. So guys, here's the deal. Whether it's a Japanese electronics aviation company or it's a bike company, it's straight manufacturing. And manufacturing, again, it is the number one targeted industry for ransomware for multiple reasons. One, it's a very clear line between I hit you and you break and you stop making money. So the level of pain goes up really high. Plus, there's manufacturing companies all over the place. Plus, for better or worse, manufacturing companies oftentimes have OT. They have engineers that work on those devices. They have staff that don't even have email and stuff. They're just kind of like assembly factory line workers. So there's a lot of attack surface. Now, granted, the people who don't have email are less of an attack surface, but they are less likely to notice something weird happening on a system. Manufacturing machines typically are always on. And say you're running 3 shifts, 24/7, 8-hour shifts. So I work until 5 p.m. ChatGPT comes in and relieves me from 8 to 4 a.m. or whatever it is. And then Nick Barker comes in and works 4 to 8 a.m. or you get what I'm saying. So they don't want 3 levels of logins for that manufacturing machine. So they'll use a generic login or it's kind of a service account, but it's a shared login. And it'll be like manufacturing station 7. And like me, Nick, and ChatGPT know the password. And in reality, the password's written on a sticky note and stuck to the window because no one ever logs out of it. And if they accidentally do because it gets patched or rebooted, no one remembers the password. So on systems that do manufacturing, the security is kind of crap, okay? I worked in manufacturing. I built a program securing a $750 million manufacturing company, all right? So I'm very aware of it. Shimano, manufacturing, gets hit. There you go. 4.5 terabytes of sensitive data breached, employee passport data, financials. This is a little bit different than the Japanese aviation company. Again, the impact is basically on what the data is that they got out. Now, employee passport data, not good. Again, it kills me. Like, why are you holding employee passport data? Like, if you are, why isn't it encrypted? Like, is like Jenny on the block need to be accessing employee passport data on the regular? Probably not. People hoard data. It pisses me off. People hoard data. Businesses hoard data because it's easy to copy paste, file it away. Memory's so cheap. Let's just fill it up. Let's fill up 4.5 terabytes. No big deal. Who cares? If we ever need it, we'll go grab it until you get popped. And then you're like, oh, geez, why do we have all this freaking data? Why did we save it? What are we doing? Ugh. It's called data classification. It's called data governance. And it's not easy to do, but this is why you have data governance. It's simple to hoard data. It's difficult to keep data that you need and not keep data that you don't need. Thank you, BSEC, for catching that Jenny from the block reference. I love it. All right, confidential diagrams. There you go. Final thing I'll say about this, I mentioned it earlier during the Japanese aviation story. This was Alfie Black Cat, a tier 1 threat actor, one that you should be concerned with. Here's our other one, Lockbit. I told you. To me, Lockbit, Alfie Black Cat, and now Klopp has kind of moved into that just because of the Move It breach. These are legit. If you see Lockbit show up on your system, I hope you wore your brown pants today because it's not going to be a good day. Again, you make the decisions whether or not you're going to pay the ransom, downtime. Manufacturing companies, again, are directly impacted almost immediately. So they typically want to pay and get out of there. Also, I don't even want to get in. I'll just briefly touch on another thing just to give you guys the mindset of the business. So this is completely sanitized. I'm not naming names or businesses, but I've worked in, higher level positions before with organizations where the conversation went like this. How much is it going to cost to put in the controls to deal with ransomware? Well, it's going to cost about $300,000, $400,000, over a couple years. Okay. How much is their insurance policy? And what's it cover up to? Well, it covers up to like 300,000. All right. So you'll get 300,000 of money if we get hit. Okay. And then the next thing comes out is well, then your budget is under 300 grand because I'd rather just buy an insurance policy. I'm not going to pay more to secure than what the insurance policy was going to give us anyways. And I'm like, okay. So that's one way to think about it. So you've got to be mindful of the business. This gets into deep GRC stuff and definitely too deep for just a daily threat brief. But just be mindful. People are thinking dollars and cents and what it costs to do option A versus option B. That conversation at no point was it not wanting to get hit by a cyber incident. It was very much which of these two options is cheaper for me, and that's the budget. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's keep going here. What are we at? 8:53. I love it. All right.
We have a live show coming up in La Jolla.
All right. Holla, holla, holla. All right. So let's do this really quickly. Guys, it is 8:54. It's 8:54. I got some great news for you. Kimberly, can you just let me know really quick? Hold on one second. I got a lot of things to share with you guys. I just need one question answered here. Okay, so check it out. This has been the Daily Cyber Threat Brief presented by Simply Cyber. Guys, I want to share this with you. Don't go to it right now, but our very own DJ BSEC, if you did the Flaming Donkey CTF, Simply CyberCon, Jenny Housley developed a CTF called Flaming Donkey. Thank you very much, Jenny. And good times for all. Jax, BSEC has done a full walkthrough of the CTF. So if you want to see how it was done, if you tried it and didn't complete it, BSEC has done a complete walkthrough for his YouTube channel, and I'm super pumped. Look at this. BSEC in full costume, straight rocking it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So if you're interested, I'm going to drop a link in chat. Go ahead and do that CTF walkthrough. Thank you very much, BSEC. All right, guys, in 6 minutes, we're going to go together, but in 6 minutes, the final workshop of Simply CyberCon. We're finishing strong here. Jack Scott of Outpost Gray, I think she's in chat right now, is going to be bringing the heat. She's going to be bringing us home. She's rounding third, and we're coming home with her at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So in about 5 minutes, we can roll over. Yeah, this is Jax's channel right here. Okay. I'm going to send this over to you. Yeah, exactly. So this is Jax's channel. All right. We're going to send everybody over to Jax's channel. Okay. Yep. So here's the link. NIST workshop at 9 a.m. Eastern. Boom. All right. So there's the link to it. We're going to rate it all together. You can see here, right here on the screen, bottom left, it says 408, 407. When it gets to about 30 seconds, let's do a raid and head over there. But I just want to spend a few more minutes. If you were here just for the news, I thank you very much. Genuinely appreciated. You guys are wonderful. 300 of you right now. Amazing. Have a wonderful Friday. Christopher Young, looking forward to your Simply Cyber Community Challenge. All right. And Carrie, you can watch that CTF. You'll love it. All right, guys. What are we doing here? Just kind of round out a little bit of what's going on. Next week, we've got Callan's Art of the Week. If you are in Copenhagen somehow, say what's up to James McQuiggan. Guys, this whole week was amazing, okay? I want to say thank you to all of you. It is a lot of work. It is freaking wicked exhausting. I am ready for December. I need to take a little bit of time off to recover. Next week, our guest on Simply Cyber Live will be Charles Finfrock, our very own Charles Finfrock. We will be posting all the individual talks soon onto the YouTube channels. And the Charles Finfrock OSINT workshop has been scrubbed by DJ BSEC. And we will be posting that on the channel for you guys to enjoy that. And for me not to get deplatformed by YouTube for violating community guidelines. Whew. I hope you guys got value from the week. Shout out to John Strand for the keynote. That was phenomenal. Shout out to Jessica Hyde for her talk last night. Massive, massive value. If you didn't see last night's stream with Jessica Hyde, I'm not being hyperbolic. It might be the single greatest interview I've done. And I've done hundreds of interviews. It was unbelievable what she delivered in that talk. We had a little bit of a script on like questions we might ask, and we threw that out the window within about 45 seconds and went where the chat took us. So if you were there, you know what's up. Space Tacos, best cyber week ever, at least for me. It was my first ever CyberCon. It was dope. Thank you so much. If you got value, definitely say hit the like button. No, I mean, if you're into GRC, get into it. And if not, that's okay too. Who asked that question? Darius Cater. I love GRC. I'm trying to make it cool. You know what I'm saying? All right. We got about 90 seconds coming in from Jax here. Darius says, is it worth getting into GRC because it's something I'm already familiar with, or is it better to find something I'm more passionate about and wait? So here's what I will say. If you're already kind of in GRC and you're looking to get into cyber, then absolutely do it. You can pivot. Pivoting within cybersecurity is not hard once you're in. So leverage it when you can. I think GRC is great, though. You can definitely do it. All right, guys. We're about 60 seconds out. I'm going to drop the link to Jack Scott. I'll see you over there. Whoops. I'll see you over there. Let's go. SCCon. All right, guys, I'm going to end the stream. Be good. I'll see you over on Jax's stream. Let's raid. Hashtag Simply Cyber Raid. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed that content. Keep the cybersecurity train going by connecting with the other Simply Cyber community resources. We have the Discord server that's lively and always keeps the conversation going. You can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And also every single weekday morning on the Simply Cyber channel, we're doing live daily cyber threat briefings, 8 a.m. Eastern time, as well as Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We're doing live stream interviews with industry experts, and we produce videos that we push out every Wednesday morning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you